Welcome to Conversations. I'm Suresh Kochatlu. The United States was a land of opportunity for immigrants, especially Indians. At least that's what it looked like in the period from the 1980s to the 2000s, but no longer. Before we get into that, I would like you to subscribe, like, and of course share this channel with your friends. You can also request you to comment about how this video was and what you would like us to improve in it. Let's come back to the topic. The United States is no longer the land of promises and riches. It was that way. The original Americans are now out to oust the Indians from the US of A. Make America Great Again, or MAGA nativists, are taking the aim at the optional practical training, or OPT as it's popularly called, which helps foreign students and graduates, mainly from India, to stay back in the United States to gain work experience, even as the optic surrounding the H1B guest worker visa is changing rapidly. Foreign students who come to the United States on an F1 visa are eligible to participate in the OPT after their first academic year and remain in the United States for up to 3 years in case of STEM graduates, mostly to gain work experience. It's not just the students, but even American citizens of Indian descent who are now under attack. MAGA's First America, that's America First hardliners, are now arguing that the OPT was originally intended as a short-term work permit, but has now evolved into a tool to secure US jobs and a pathway for securing long-term work visas like H1B. After a fierce election campaign against H1B visa program that has forced pledges from the incoming Trump White House to review and reform it on the grounds that it is being misused to replace American workers, the hardliners are now putting OPT, seen as a precursor to H1B, under the lens. Typically, foreign students who come to the US are on a F1 visa and are eligible to participate in the OPT after the first academic year, as I had mentioned before. Employers saw the OPT workers as desperate, willing to do anything for the H1B sponsorship before their permits expire. It's the largest guest worker program, but the local citizens allege that it's killing jobs for new American college graduates. Many foreign students, particularly those from India, who come to study in the US on the premise that they will get an OPT to gain work experience, in many areas, they transition onto the H1B visa during or nearing the conclusion of the OPT period, which gives them up to 9 years more in the United States. In that time, some manage to get the elusive green cards and eventually become US citizens. According to the Congressional Research Report, in the calendar year 2023, there were 1.5 million F1 and M1, which is vocational training students, and the recent graduates in the United States. Of these, about 23% of those 344,686 students were authorized to work via OPT. The killing of OPT would effectively mean foreign students would have to exit the United States soon after their graduation without having the benefit of gaining work experience, a prescription that would likely and drastically reduce the foreign students coming to the United States. The OPT program dates back to the 1947. When regulations provided that foreign students may work in cases where employment for practical training is required or recommended by the school or college where they go into, and it should be approved by the immigration officials. To participate in an OPT, a student must first get the approval from the school, college, or university that they are studying, and then file an application for an employment authorization with the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services. There is no limit on the number of F1 or M1 non-immigrants who may participate in OPT. A vast majority, 98 to 99% of the OPT participants, are in F1 status. Some US policymakers have long argued that restricting or eliminating the OPT program, maintaining that it operates as a closet foreign worker program without congressional approval, and it displaces US students and recent graduates and is susceptible to national security risk. Others have argued that the OPT should be continued or expanded because it allows educated foreign nationals to contribute to the economy of the United States and makes the US more attractive destination for foreign students who also, in fact, bolster the finances of US colleges by the fees they pay. In fact, the OPT program, which originally allowed a one-year stint, was extended by successive Republican and Democrat governments. In 2008, the Bush administration extended the maximum period of OPT from 12 months to 29 months for F1 students who had completed a degree in science, technology, engineering, or mathematics, or what is called STEM. In 2016, the Obama administration further extended it to 36 months for those with STEM degrees. Both administrations cited economic, cultural, and academic contributions of foreign students, as well as national security concerns related to US economic and technological competitiveness as a justification for these extensions. But MAGA activists riding on their campaign against H1B are now saying no in an effort to nix the OPT, blindsiding the fact that the US academia, which values foreign students both as a financial and academic resource, will be kind of at loss. In fact, US President-elect Donald Trump doubled down on his support for the smart people migrating to the United States, largely aligning himself with the view of Elon Musk. Such a policy would go against the sentiment of MAGA base, most radical fringe, which wants a moratorium, if not a complete ban, on all immigration to the United States of America. President Trump had rejected the idea that he changed his stand on the H1B visa program for guest workers, which he sometimes opposed, saying that always felt the need to have the most competent people in our country. President Trump went on to say that we need smart people to come into our country and we also need a lot of people coming in. We're gonna have jobs like we never had before, said President Trump. Trump's stand is causing immense disquiet among MAGA radicals, with some prominent figures starting to complain about Musk's growing influence on President-elect and calling him a recent MAGA convert. Musk is being labeled as a total and a complete phony owned lock, stock and barrel by the Chinese Communist Party. MAGA activists are warning him not to go to the pulpit in the first week there and start lecturing people in the United States about the way things are going to be. The brewing MAGA versus Musk battle has become very ferocious and nasty at the least. In fact, Musk is being kind of pushed from all sides. The optics of this face-off from Trump's remarks suggesting that Musk currently has an upper hand in the Trump administration. The tech titan with his toddler son on X's shoulder was present at the Trump's New Year party. In fact, many of Trump's opponents, in fact, Musk's opponents, including Bannon, was not there. In fact, that is the main problem. That Tusk kind of thing is Musk. There is a kind of problem which everybody is trying to toss up Tusk and get Musk out of the way. But President Trump knows where things stand. He knows that he needs talents to be there in the United States. They need to run the tech company. They need to run the science company. They need to run the mathematical-based company. But then things are not as easy as it's always. And Indian students are the most worried. Many of them are rushing back to the United States before the 20th of January deadline, as the colleges have called them back, saying don't take a chance of coming after 20th. For all you know, Trump would just close the borders. Come back fast. So many have preponed the tickets in the winter vacations when they came to India and now rushing back. Where will things go from here? What will happen to the OPT? What will happen to the H1B visa? Well, your guess is as good as mine, because we don't know. It all depends on the way the political posturing will pan out in the days to come. And sure enough, Elon Musk is backing it all the way, because he needs the same tech people to run his companies, from SpaceX to X and Tesla. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a moot point. Thank you for watching. Jai Hind.